I have 7 minutes, so I'm going to try not to rush it, and hopefully I'll get through all the slides I have. It's a total change of subject. We're going to talk about best practice in fraud fighting for classified websites. And very, very quick facts about us. We have been around for 10 years helping classified websites and other companies with a lot of user-generated content to basically fight fraud and get rid of all the things that you don't want on your website. Scams, illegal products, abuse, duplicates, etc. Last year, as an example, we handled more than 62 million articles and 400,000 customer tickets and detected more than 300,000 frauds, unfortunately. Unfortunately, fraud fighting is an increasing market all around the world. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about a case from one of our clients and how we have been dealing with fraud. And as you all know, fraud fighting, of course, consists of a lot of different parts that belong together, all through customer care, moderation of different kind, technology, site navigation, how you inform the customer when they are on your website, but also communication and PR and how to work together with the local police authority, which is the case I'm going to talk about here. One of our clients is called Blocket.sc. I think many of you have heard about them. It's a Schibsted-owned company since many years back. They have been around since 1996 online, hugely successful. Actually, half of the Swedish population visit this website every month. And over 90% of all the used cars, just to take one example, are on this website. So if you're going to buy a used car in Sweden, there's basically no other place you need to look. And going back many years in time, we had an issue. The efficiency in solving fraud cases was pretty low. And as you can see on these trends here, when it comes to public relations, there were a lot more negative articles written in the newspapers, online forums about fraud on the website compared to the positive ones. That could be, for example, how the market is developing, how many people that are buying and selling goods. Roughly 3 times more negative articles compared to positive ones. A couple of years later, we have managed to change that so that the efficiency is much higher and the situation when it comes to mentioning in articles in the media is the total opposite. Now, the absolute majority of them are positive, market-related articles, and way, way less are related to scams or fraud or negative issues of different kind. So how did we do that? Well, there are, of course, many, many different factors that we have been working with, but one I want to bring up today is the cooperation with the police force, how we've done that in Sweden, and to give you 5 different examples of what we have done. The first one is seminars and training. We decided many years ago that we need to educate the police force in Sweden. So we decided to do trainings with all the different police districts in Sweden. There are around 30 of them. And we have done so to date, training them in how online fraud works. How can they monitor? How can they understand this? How can they connect different scams and scammers to each other? I should mention also that Sweden is a country where we have a situation where a lot of the fraud is local because of the language. It's not like the English-speaking or French-speaking websites where you have a lot of international fraud. That definitely complicates things. We also train them in understanding how little it is in relation to the huge amount of ads. I mean, there are 20 to 30,000 ads per day on this website, and to understanding that it's a very, very, very small amount that is connected to scams, and how to understand the data. So all of them have been trained, and we just started from the beginning again, training them again and again and again. Action number 2 is educational material. Changed all the communication material that we had together with the police force, making it easy for them to understand, getting rid of all the complicated words, and presenting also how the different scams were connected to each other in what we call fraud rings, so that they could see that something is not just an isolated incident, it's much, much bigger, and that gave them the opportunity to provide much more resources into solving the cases. We opened up a special hotline for the police force so they can call us anytime, any kind of questions or issues that they have. Action number 3 is what you could call proactive information sharing. If you go back a couple of years in time, the police was doing much less than they are doing today in solving different scam cases online, not only for Blocket, but for all the different kind of communities out there. And the journalists were at the same time asking us, what are you doing about this? So we decided that we are actually going to give them the information even though they don't ask for it, starting proactively to push the information to the police. Every time we were encountered with some kind of scam, we sent information to them. Even in the way they were communicating back then was mostly fax. Today it is actually more email-based, with clear information how they could follow up on this case. So they could make no excuse that they were actually not provided with the information, not only for that particular scam, but actually for the entire fraud ring. Basically pushing the responsibility over to the police force. Action number 4 is to assist the customer in all ways, basically inviting all the customers that has been victim of some kind of scam to file a police report, giving us the number of this police report so we can file an additional report with all the information, following them all the way to the police, holding their hand basically. And action number 5, because I think we're almost out of time, is to hire a former police officer. His name is Thomas. So in our company in Besedo, we decided to basically replace me with a guy that really knew what he was talking about and has 25 years experience from the police force, and the last couple of years been working exclusively with online frauds within the Swedish police. He knows the organization, what makes them tick, who to talk to, what strings to pull. And also internally for our different fraud teams, he is an excellent coach. When everyone else panics over something, he remains calm. He's seen it all before and knows that an online scam is not the end of the world, and can train and coach our staff in doing so. And that's it. Thank you.